Have you ever kept quiet just to avoid an argument? But deep down, you knew a little piece of your happiness was slipping away? The truth is, once you hit your late 60s or 70s, something shifts. You start seeing life through a different lens. You've spent decades working hard, raising a family, making sacrifices, enduring storms that others may never even know about. And now, this season of your life?
It belongs to you.
That doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop tolerating things, whether from strangers, acquaintances, or even family, that rob you of peace, dignity, and self-worth. In this video, we'll go through 5 things no one over 65 should put up with. Stick around to the very end, because the final one is something many older adults don't even realize they're tolerating until it's stolen years of happiness from them. Let's begin.
Number 1. Guilt-driven financial pressure.
One of the most painful traps older adults fall into is giving away their financial security. Not out of generosity, but out of guilt. It often starts small. A granddaughter asks for help with tuition. A son says he's behind on the mortgage.
A relative wants to borrow money for a can't-miss business idea.
And before you know it, you've said yes. Not because you can afford it, but because saying no makes you feel like a bad parent, or a selfish grandparent. But here's the hard truth. In your later years, your financial stability must come first. That money you've saved over decades? It's not just a number on a bank statement. It's your medical safety net. It's your peace of mind. It's the difference between aging with dignity and being forced to rely on others. I once spoke with Carol, a 74-year-old widow who used half her savings helping her daughter through a divorce. Legal fees, childcare, groceries for over a year. She thought she was doing the right thing. But when her own roof needed repairs and prescription costs went up, she realized she couldn't afford them. Her daughter was grateful, but had moved on. Carol was left stressed, anxious, and scrambling. That's not generosity. That's sacrifice without support. There's a difference between helping and enabling. Helping is thoughtful and sustainable. Enabling slowly drains you until you're left vulnerable. If your financial help is met with entitlement instead of gratitude, or coldness when you say no, that's a red flag. Here's a phrase you can use. I wish I could do more, but I have to make sure I'm secure first. Offer advice, encouragement, or smaller acts of kindness that don't threaten your stability. And if anyone shames you for that, that's their burden, not yours. If you agree that protecting your financial stability is important, comment, I choose security, down below.
Number 2. Guilt-tripping emotional manipulation.
Guilt is one of the most powerful emotional weapons. And sadly, many older adults experience it most from family. It often hides in comments like,
I guess you don't care anymore. After a live done for you.
We really needed you, but you're always busy now. These aren't just words, they're pressure disguised as love. Love shouldn't feel like obligation. Yet, some people, even unintentionally, lean on guilt when they want your time, energy, or compliance. Susan, a 72-year-old woman I met, experienced this often. Her daughter would call last minute asking for help. If Susan hesitated, there was a heavy sigh, a disappointed tone. Susan said, "She makes me feel like I'm letting her down just for needing a break." Eventually, Susan had a moment of clarity. She realized limits aren't betrayal. They're an act of self-love. She started replying calmly. I can't today, but I'm happy to help Thursday.
I need rest today.
Please understand. And something amazing happened. Her daughter adapted. Their relationship didn't break. It became healthier. Remember, saying no doesn't mean you love less. If someone makes you feel guilty for taking care of yourself, it's time to look at that relationship closely. Anyone who truly loves you will never want you to suffer for their comfort. If you've ever experienced guilt tripping, drop a "no more guilt" in the comments. Number 3. Disrespect toward your time and independence. By 65, 70, 80 years of age, you've earned the right to live life on your own schedule. Yet one of the most common things older adults tolerate is having their time treated as if it's worthless. It can look like family dropping by unannounced, neighbors expecting you to wait on their schedule, people assuming you're free just because you're retired. This sends a message, intended or not, that your time matters less. George, 78, volunteers at a food pantry twice a week. One day, his son asked, "Can you skip your shift to help me move furniture?" George almost said yes, but paused. "I made a commitment, and they count on me. Let's find another time." It taught his son that his dad's time wasn't just flexible, it was his own. Protecting your time isn't selfish. It's dignity. Whether it's your garden, your morning walk, or your afternoon nap, it matters. Number 4. Letting others dictate your schedule. This is a close cousin to point 3, but it's worth its own spotlight. Many older adults allow others to control their calendar without realizing it. Kids drop off the grandkids without notice. Friends expect you to adjust plans at the last minute. Arthur, 77, faced this. His adult children treated his free time as on-call babysitting hours. Finally, he sat them down and said,
"I'm not a last-minute favor.
My time has value." From then on, they asked first. Your calendar doesn't need to be packed to have worth. Even a day with rest written on it is a valid reason to say no. Number 5. Disregard for your boundaries. This one's subtle, but dangerous. Boundaries can be ignored in ways that look like help, but are actually control. Rearranging your home without asking.
Going through your mail.
Changing your doctor's appointment without telling you. Eleanor, 78, had her son stop by and sort through her bills without permission. He claimed it was to help, but it made her feel like a guest in her own home. Boundaries aren't walls, they're the guardrails that keep your voice strong. You can say, "I appreciate your concern, but I'd like to handle this myself. I'm happy to discuss it, but I need you to hear my side too." If someone loves you, they'll respect that. If they don't, their reaction says more about them than you. Growing older doesn't mean giving up your right to peace, respect, or control over your life. In fact, you've earned it more than ever. You don't need to accept guilt disguised as love. You don't need to justify protecting your money, your time, or your choices. You have nothing left to prove, only life left to protect. And when you stop tolerating what drains you, you create room for what restores you. Deeper friendships, better health, and days that feel lighter.
Your life is not a rehearsal.
Spend it with people and experiences that fill you, not empty you. If this message resonated with you, comment, "My life, my rules," and share one thing you'll stop tolerating starting today. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next video.